Yep, this is Dre coming at y'all with a video about something that we tend to avoid in certain spaces, but something that needs to be talked about a lot: politics. So if you're interested, keep on watching. I know if you're anything like myself, you are trying to protect your mental health and trying not to face the realities of what's going on in this country right now. But at the same time, you got to stay informed. Whether it hurts you or not, you got to stay informed. So that is the predicament that I have found myself in. And just this morning, I've had the opportunity just to be like, okay, I'm gonna go see what's really going on. I'm gonna pay attention because we already know it's about to go down. We already know it's about to go down because why? Project 2025 told us so. So now we just need to really know the specifics of what's about to go on. So earlier on my Facebook, I posted about all of the executive orders that the president has rescinded from the Biden administration, and it was 73 of them. And there was one notable one that caught my attention, and I'm going to go ahead and read it to y'all. It said, and this is Executive Order number 14050, and it says that the White House initiative on advancing educational equity, excellence, and economic opportunity for Black Americans. That is the one of the 73 executive orders that the Trump administration is doing away with. So when I see artists like Snoop Dogg and Nelly, like it was specifically Nelly, like going out of his way to defend his actions, knowing good and damn well that that man doesn't care anything about that, about you, it's like, it's upsetting. It's upsetting. And then what's upsetting to me more is I don't know why former President Barack Obama did not stand on business like his wife and decide to just skip the inauguration altogether. I don't know why he didn't skip it because there's no way in the hell I would have been kikiing, laughing, and showing my face at a place where a man who's blatantly disrespecting my family, blatantly disrespected me in office, and etc. and sat there and I would have went to his inauguration. There's no way in the world I would have done it. But let me go ahead on and get back to business because I feel like I'm getting off topic. So I'm going to read to you all from this new news article called Newsweek, and they have a full list of Donald Trump's executive orders signed on his inauguration day. So I'm going to go ahead on and read it. His first one is he signed the rescission of 78, I think I said 73 earlier, but 78 Biden era executive orders, actions, and memoranda. So I'm going to read you guys that list later, but that's just one of the things that he did. So every single executive order that Joe Biden put in place, he just rescinded them all. Yeah. A regulatory freeze preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of the government. That's a second one. A freeze on all federal hiring except in the military and a number of other excluded categories. They want to have complete control of the government wholeheartedly. And they're showing us that. This is what was voted in. A requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work. That affects a lot of people that I know. Good friends of mine, family members, immediate family members who are affected by this. Work for the government, got to go right back to work. There's a friend of mine that she works remote 4 days a week, but 1 day a week she has to go into the physical building. Now, the physical building is about an hour and a half away from her house. So now, if she continues to work for this government job, she's going to have to drive an hour and a half to work every day and an hour and a half back every day, Monday through Friday, because they are getting rid of remote workers in the federal workforce. Yeah. They don't want any old body talking about the cost of living crisis. So what he did was he's having people direct agencies to address Americans' cost of living crisis. So what agencies? I don't know. There was no specific agencies on here. So they don't want anything to do with any climate change conventions, treaties, or anything with other countries. So it specifically says that they are withdrawing from the Paris Agreement and informing the United Nations of the U.S. withdrawal from the landmark climate treaty. There is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward. So that means that essentially the government can put out all the misinformation that they want to. It doesn't have to be censored anymore, all in the name of free speech. But that's a lie. This administration calls themselves protecting the First Amendment right to free speech, but that is only if it benefits the misinformation and the BS that they like to spew. It only benefits them because they like to censor facts. So, now this last executive order is quite interesting. It is very interesting because it is in defense of the January 6th rioters, because this government is saying that those people had the right to practice their free speech in their opposition to the Democratic government at the time, that they had a right to. So, he's pardoning those 1,500 people from the January 6th riot, right? If you didn't know, he is. This is what the executive order specifically says. It says a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization, that's the word is used, of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen. So this Trump administration is pretty much saying that people back in the Biden administration were literally getting punished for voicing their opinions on the Democratic government at that time, and were being punished to the fullest extent of the law for doing nothing, is what they proclaim. Which I don't understand, because was the January 6th riot not the most disrespectful thing you can do to the government in the United States, and you're defending them? How I know they're defending them is because they said this. The Department of Justice has ruthlessly prosecuted more than 1,500 individuals associated with January 6th and simultaneously dropped nearly all cases against Black Lives Matter rioters. So this executive order is literally saying that the people from the January 6th riot were innocent and they just had a different opinion. Don't care about whether or not they were going to go in there in that Capitol and raise hell on the people in the government at that time. They were innocent. But, oh yeah, they freed the Black Lives Matters rioters. This is foolish. They even lied and stated in this executive order that the Department of Justice jailed the individual for posting a political meme. This is all on whitehouse.com. Foolishness. I literally got a breaking news on my phone that states that Trump says that ICE can arrest people at churches and schools, reversing previous policy to avoiding sensitive areas. So they literally are going to be able to walk up in churches and walk up in schools, picking up kids and adults and arresting them if they're proclaimed to be illegal. This country really care about us, y'all? I'm just a messenger. I'm just reading these initiatives and what this administration is trying to do. But this is what this country voted for. It is what it is.